Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So,
So,
you,
me.
Lemons, are running through the woods.
I am.
And you had told me you wanted to bring Arthur somewhere. Where was that somewhere?
First instinct was to head south because he had heard about a treehouse. Um,
Okay.
Obviously not running off of any known knowledge, player knowledge. Like Lemons was under the impression it was a treehouse that was south.
All
That
right.
was where Lauren was going, and since they hadn't checked it out and it's not cameraed or anything, it seemed like the best bet for now.
You, and then you're talking about like the Lauren hiding place.
Yeah, but
Okay.
like I said, he interpreted hiding place as second treehouse.
Yes. Go ahead and roll a wit survival to try and track it down for me, please.
Okay, and this is using previous survival or current?
New survival.
Okay. Am I on the right character? Yeah, I am. Okay, it's survival. Let me refresh because my Google Sheet didn't update. There we go. Oh, here we go. I think I'm out of willpower still, right? Like that obviously hasn't refreshed.
Yes, correct.
Okay. A 1.
All right. As you are wandering into the darkness of the woods, and frankly, you have very little idea where you're going.
Mm-hmm.
You know that the south was where Lauren mentioned her hiding place being, but the south is a very general direction.
Right, and the only knowledge that he has is when they followed her, but they didn't make it all the way because she had tripped and broken her arm, I think.
Mm-hmm. And so you are wandering blindly through the woods, and it
Yep.
is... The dark isn't as much of a problem for you.
Oh shit, that's what I meant to take. No direction. Oh well.
Hmm?
I meant because no direction is merit,
Oh,
right?
direction sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have it. Uh,
Yeah,
you're wandering, and you think you might have the general idea, but the hard part about being in the middle of a forest is that everything looks the same.
no. Mm-hmm.
And so you're picking out every now and then there's a fallen tree or a large rock, and you're like, okay, those are my indicators. And you keep going. I'm going to allow you one more roll and also a perception for me, please.
Okay, here's the roll. 2 and 3 for perception.
All right, thank you. At one point, as you're wandering through, you hear a stick snap.
Mm.
And you look around and you try and see, and as you're turning around, you're like, wait, let's not lose the direction I was going. And you're able to, with your successes, get yourself recentered in what you believe is south.
Okay.
You don't know what direction that noise came from,
Okay.
but you persevere on. And it feels like you've been doing this for a while, carrying Arthur as well.
He's still out?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Until eventually, you see something in the distance. It is amongst the blackness and the little blops, the smudges of dark green. Not dark green, it's winter.
It is.
Just
Unless it's
the
evergreens.
that's true. Between the evergreens and then also the just lines of darkness that is the tree branches. You see almost a wall ahead of you.
I approach.
Approaching the wall, as you get closer, you see more detail comes into it. What was originally just this line of silhouette now takes a rough, jagged form, and you see stone, an outcropping, not a large one, and it seems to be just sitting there in the middle of the forest, really well covered up, and it's just an upraised part of earth. specifically stone. It looks like wood if there was ever any soft earth around it has since been eroded away. It isn't like a huge line. It's more of a...
For the wall.
Yeah. It's
Okay.
more of like a rounded cylinder, almost. But not perfectly circle, more natural.
How tall?
Taller than you. Not like building tall, but sizable.
I'm gonna loop around and see if there's any, like, I don't know, gate or something. Actually, can I just do perception first?
Sure.
Okay. 3. More for either footprints in the snow or a sound.
That is not perception.
That's what?
That is not perception.
You're right, so I guess I'm listening for a sound.
You listen, and you hear the wind blowing through the empty branches, and you hear the sound of your own feet hitting the snow, but otherwise it is dead silent.
The wind has not picked up. It's been pretty consistent.
The wind has been pretty consistent, you believe.
Okay. We're going to loop around, see if there's any way in.
You loop around, and ooh, how do I do this? I know how to do this. I drag you and you alone.
A...
You are greeted with a place in which the what's the word for it? Structure, kind of, outcropping, natural thing. There's a word for it. I can't remember what it is at the moment.
Okay.
It goes into a convex, and there is a part where this hard wall gives in, and you see a tunnel leading into it. But before you see the tunnel, you see a pop of red on the floor, and looking down, you see it is a sucker.
Huh. Okay. It screams cave entrance, and that kind of spooks him too. This was not what he was expecting.
Mm-hmm.
But he doesn't know how to get back. Shoot. If anything, he's gonna duck into at least just slightly under the, in the lip of the entrance. Just enough to kind of set Arthur down and kind of take a look at him.
Okay. You set Arthur down. You see he's definitely worse for wear. There's places where the shrapnel has kind of torn and ripped at his skin. He's not mangled or anything, but he is bleeding.
Okay. Lemons is going to tend to him. He's gonna try
All right, go.
Yeah, he's gonna focus on that.
Go ahead and roll a wits medical.
Okay. Emergency care?
Do you have any med kits on you?
No, if anything, I'll have to tear off straps of clothes.
All right, you do that.
Okay. From myself, of course, not from him. So that'd be 8, I think. 3.
You're able to tend his wounds so that he's not actively bleeding anymore.
Okay.
Some good emergency care. Make sure that you can't guarantee it won't get infected, but you can guarantee he's not going to bleed out over a small cut.
Okay. He's breathing and everything? He's breathing and everything?
Yes. No, the shrapnel bombs did a number on him just because they were placed right. You certainly didn't expect that.
No.
You had to pull a nail out of him here and there.
Oh god, no. Lemon's gonna take, okay, what am I wearing right now? Like, what was I able to leave with?
Whatever, the clothes on your back, buddy. So,
Okay, so pants and a couple layers of shirts, or
if you wore a couple layers of shirts to bed.
he wouldn't have. Probably would have worn like one or two.
You have a shirt.
A shirt. And Arthur has a shirt, I assume.
He has a sweater.
A sweater.
Like, full sleeve sweater.
Right. Make sure he's warm. I might actually take the sweater off, take my shirt off, put it on him, and put his sweater back on him.
You do so, and by taking off the sweater, you once again reveal the many scars and cuts that are burrowed into his skin.
Well, I assume to tend him, I probably had to take everything off.
I'm sorry, your mic was being funny. What were you saying?
I was saying, I assume to tend to him, I probably had to take it off anyways.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
But you do get to see that fun sight again.
Okay.
And you do notice something as you're doing that. You note on his back where the large insignia is, there is some bruising around it. Like some dark purple bruises. And you can go ahead and roll an intelligence medical for me.
Okay. Oh, Jesus.
Looking at that, the bruises look like it's from burst blood vessels in the skin. And you know for a fact that wouldn't have been from shrapnel. Even if it was on his back, the shrapnel would have torn through the sweater. But it didn't.
Something else.
No, it is completely localized to the area in which this symbol is.
Does it seem like it's a threat to his health?
No.
Okay.
Not that you can tell. It doesn't seem like it's severe internal bleeding or anything like that.
Okay. We'll address later, but there's nothing he can do right now. Okay. He'll, as carefully but quickly as he can, put the shirts back on Arthur.
Okay.
And if Arthur doesn't seem like he's gonna rouse, Lemons is spooked. He doesn't really want to be here anymore. He's gonna... he doesn't know how to get back unless he follows his tracks, but that'd be bad. Okay. He has a vague idea of where town is. Like...
Maybe.
Oh, true.
If you in fact went the direction you think you did.
True. Shit. He might just wait for Arthur to wake up.
Alright. You do so. And it's a little while.
He'll just kind of curl up next to him.
The wind continues to blow outside and it is cold.
I don't feel it.
You don't.
Lemons will pull Arthur, basically embrace him to keep him warm.
Okay. And the wind whirls in it with a high-pitched squeal as it kind of comes into this area, and you hear it continuing to blow into the darkness behind you. And it has a very hollow sound, indicating that this entrance is more deep than you see. And you also hear the occasional high-pitch squeal, something akin to metal.
He'll glance over that direction.
Roll a perception for me.
5.
Lemon's glancing over that direction. You see something, especially with your eyes, which are much more adjusted to dark than most people. You notice that there is further in the confines. And to get in here, it should be noted, further in there's wooden boards. And you notice this, almost as if to keep someone out.
Okay.
But you see there's an area in which those boards have been pulled away, almost big enough for someone to be able to crawl through. And certainly easy if you were to, considering how thin you are.
Right.
But there's something around that corner, beyond the boards, and you just get sight of a rusty edge of something. And when the wind blows and you watch it, you see it kind of shift with the wind and then creak as it goes back.
Oh, like the box or whatever it is flimsy enough to turn with the wind? Or?
Whatever it is you are seeing is structurally weak enough to be blown by the wind.
And it's behind boards?
It is behind a wall of boards.
Oh, so what I'm looking at right now is, so it's this entrance or whatever, but there's actually a wall.
In front of it.
In front of it, okay.
Yes.
And a hole. A little torn out hole.
Mm-hmm.
Lemons is not going to approach, but he may lean to see if he can see more.
Alright, go ahead and roll again for me.
5.
You lean to see if you can see more, and you kind of press your face to the cold stone to see if you can see more through that little hole. And you get a better angle. You see the thing that is blowing seems to be some scrap metal that's sticking, protruding from the wall, which implies that it's attached to more scrap metal over there, right out of sight.
Mm-hmm.
And then further in, you can see the gleams of what seem to be bars. And these ones aren't rusty.
Oh boy.
It isn't a large amount of bars. In fact, it seems to be almost a cage.
Yeah, we're not looking.
You stay put.
He stays put. He's gonna wait for Arthur to wake up.
Eventually, Arthur's eyes crack open and he breathes in, and he's just.
Hey.
Where?
He's gonna rub his arms to try to warm him up.
He stays in your arms and he's shivering.
Hey.
Fucking sit.
I just fucking
Fuck.
Hey. Pull him closer.
What'd you say? I'm sorry?
He's gonna pull him closer.
You do so, and he continues to expunge anger for a little while.
He'll just hold him while he is angry. So I just ran, and I don't know where the fuck we are.
Arthur sits up and looks.
I thought I'd run south because I know Lauren had mentioned some kind of treehouse or something, but I didn't find it.
Found it. Stupid kid, that stupid kid. Fuck. He shakes his head and he looks like he's about to punch the wall, but stops himself and just slams his fist hard on his knee instead. He shouldn't have come here.
Okay. Then we backtrack.
Correction. She said she shouldn't have come here.
Oh, okay. Lemons, He's not gonna pry it. He's gonna let that go.
Fuck, the northern one would have been better.
What are you thinking?
This is a mine entrance.
Shit, I figured it. Fuck.
That might... They're gonna look for us.
Yeah, I know.
This might be our best bet.
But the mine.
Blood soil doesn't affect you, right?
As far as I know. What about you?
He looks grimly forward. No, it's not gonna be able to do shit to me.
What about your... If we go... How are we gonna keep you fed? I mean...
Like, we just...
medicine...
We just need to... hide where they can't get us. And then... maybe they'll think we left town. Or something. He rests his face in his hands. Something.
Something, I know.
If we go anywhere else, they'll find us. I mean, are you fucking... There's 2 DMAs!
I know.
Their job is to find people.
But we didn't hurt them, so...
We just defected. That is absolutely what we do. If they find us, we're dead.
No, that's why we don't go far. We just stay out of their hair for a little while so everyone can cool down.
No, that is not how that works. That is not how that works.
Do we know that?
Is that out of character or in character?
That was in character.
Okay. Yes, we know that.
So I was thinking, otherwise, that since we've already combed through Catherine's house a couple times and there's no cameras over there, that's an option too. It's risky, obviously, but it's a thought. We just hunker down. But then I don't know where to go from there.
Don't know.
I don't know. What I do know is I don't want to make any more enemies. Okay. Okay. And he's gonna reach, you know, they're holding each other anyways, right? Or no, because Arthur went and. So yeah, he's gonna reach over and kind of squeeze Arthur's arm.
He pulls his arm away, but then you see very much in his face afterwards. It's more of an expression of he's angry right now at everything.
Right.
It isn't anything you did wrong.
Yeah.
We are fucked. You've ran away more than once. I've sought Nat, and now I've ran away. Well, if they catch us, they're gonna execute us.
But I mean, we still have friends over there. Maybe they'll understand.
You're way too trusting.
Cheney will understand.
What do you say?
Cheney will understand.
Like hell, she doesn't even have the authority to make a call anymore.
No, but she's still up there.
You think she'd put her neck out for me?
He shrugs.
She'd probably do something for you, but me?
Carly?
She doesn't give a shit about me.
Carly?
massive. These Guardians first. If Matthew says jump, Seek jumps. Or he'd say if Helling says jump, Seek jumps.
I mean, we've got... And there's still Nat, and there's Theo, and... I mean, Jesus.
I have 2 names for you.
Okay.
Yao and Isa. Nothing they say, nothing Nat says, nothing Janie says, nothing Carly says will matter if those 2 are there. Because they are the face of Guardian. They are the word. What they say is law. DMH doesn't fuck around, guy. Why can't you just get this through your head?
Because Arthur, I was a fucking heart. Talking's what I do.
Some things you just can't talk your way out of.
Well, we can't fight them.
But we can stay away from them.
Maybe. If Guardians is as big as it seems. I don't know how long we can do that. We can keep trying to stay out of their hair at least.
We have home advantage. Blood soil doesn't affect you. And it won't do shit to me.
How sure are you about going down there?
I'm terrified. I don't think we could go all the way through. But there might be some tunnels we can make our way through, the way to connect to the other sides. If we could get to the northern cave, we could get around to the Manson, maybe.
There might be cameras up there.
There's things stored there, food stocks, places to hide. They don't know all the in and outs of that building. And there's no one left around to tell them about him.
Okay, so mines. We're still in town, so it's not like we're running that far, right?
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
You said we're still in town, so it's not like we're running that far, right?
Sir, if it soothes you.
It does.
No one saw us or what direction we went. Kayla, did they?
Caleb saw me go in the woods. They have tracks to follow if the wind hasn't smeared them over.
Shit.
Yeah.
This is our best bet then. They're gonna start following us as soon as they can. There's fuck all that'll stop them. We're not in Harbor Village area, and the mimics would be our only thing that would.
And I don't think Finnegan wouldn't be down there.
The mines?
Yeah.
No, he's not gonna touch them. No one in their right mind should touch the mines. But we don't really have any other options. We're walking dead men.
You sure there's no other choice?
Do you have any better choices aside from going back and groveling to them?
Just Cece's house.
We're gonna leave tracks if we head there.
Okay, so mines. Mines to manor. That's a thought?
And then maybe we can take the mines back and get to Cece's house at some other night when they're not paying attention.
Okay. Okay.
That's all I can think of. We just need to keep away from them.
I'm going to empathy him.
I'm sorry, your mic keeps doing a really weird thing where it's like you're really, really, really far away.
Oh, sorry. I'm going to empathy him.
Go for it.
Okay. A 1.
You cannot read him, Lemons. He looks upset and angry.
Well, I think I can see down there at least. He takes Arthur's hand.
I know some of the layout. I can maybe get us around the dangerous parts, for the most part.
Okay.
He just is quiet for a bit, says, just keep your eyes closed for a little bit, okay?
Okay.
And I'll tell you when it's okay to open them. Please.
Yes.
Okay. He starts heading in.
I'm gonna follow.
And you close your eyes?
Yep. They
All
hold
right.
my hands?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You go under the board and head on in. And eventually Arthur tells you when you can open your eyes again.
Okay.
And you guys wander into the darkness. I'll tell you more about that later, but
Yeah.
there you go.
Adventure.
Adventure! Alright, you may cut recording. We're going to be heading into the main chat.
Okay.